There's a lot of scary headlines out there right now, which are highlighting the sudden rise of mortgage rates, the increase in house inventory. People are now talking about the future of real estate, and then you have inflation too. This is a new special video and audio edition of the new monthly series from the Martini Mortgage Group that we are calling What is Going On? Now, before I start mixing it up, I need to make those legal folks happy. So, the primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or other professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Welcome to the Martini Mortgage Podcast, episode 161. I'm calling it What is Going On in October 2022, our inaugural issue. My name is Kevin Martini, and I am a certified mortgage advisor and producing branch manager. NMLS 143962 with the Martini Mortgage Group at Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group Corporation, NMLS 3446, Equal Housing Lender. With all that said, let's dive into the news. On Friday, October 7th, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that 263,000 jobs were created in September 2022. And this was above the expectations. The unemployment rate decreased from 3.7 to 3.5% too. The data from these reports spooked the markets because it provides an unofficial signal that the Fed will continue on its tightening journey, and it is likely to be very aggressive to get inflation under control moving forward. Let me be clear. The Fed needs tightening because they need to reduce demand in the marketplace. And this reduced demand should be the thing that tames the beast, and that beast is inflation. It is my opinion the Fed will raise rates in the November and December meetings. I also believe the Fed funds rate could be increased by 1.5 points. It is an undisputable fact. We have not seen inflation at this level for decades. And the Fed's actions, to be transparent, have helped, but they've helped incrementally. But inflation is still persistent and high. This is critical because inflation is the nemesis or the arch enemy to mortgage rates. You see, mortgage rates are not controlled by the Federal Reserve, nor do mortgage rates come from the stock market. Mortgage rates live in the bond market. Inflation erodes the return of a bond. Just because there is inflation, it does not mean the markets will stop. In the simplest of examples, market makers will offer a higher yield to a mortgage bond investor. When mortgage bond yield is increased, that means mortgage rates will go higher. Now, I feel that the Fed's actions will get inflation under control in the first quarter of 2023. It's critical that I share this based on history. The Fed has always been late to the party, and they stayed too long to the party. They were clearly too late to this party because they thought inflation was transitory, not sticky. The developing story is what will they do when inflationary pressures are eased? Stay tuned. I think they will stay after the party is over, and then they will be promoting growth, rapid, massive growth. And this growth will provide a sharp drop in mortgage rates. By the way, that's just not me. Fannie Mae has said that too. Let's talk about mortgage rates for a hot second. For some, the current rate environment was not possible. However, for long-term fans of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, they were advised that this was likely to happen. And for those new fans, let me be clear. It is probable that mortgage rates will get worse before they get better. It is not unthinkable that mortgage rates could start with an 8 sooner than later. There are advanced strategies offered by myself and fellow mortgage strategist Logan Martini to help today and in the future too. If homeownership is right for you as a first-time home buyer or as a repeat home buyer, one of the many options is the Martini Mortgage Group no contract lock program with a free float down for up to 90 days. This is a very simple program, but it is very powerful. Here's how it works. A future home buyer can lock their mortgage rate at today's price, and that price can be protected for up to 90 days. In the event there's an improvement in the rate when the future home buyer goes under contract for their new home, they will have the option to float the rate down to the improved rate. How cool is that? This unique no contract lock program can be combined with a seller paid buy down program offered by the Martini Mortgage Group. For more information about the seller paid buy down, check out episode 159 of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, since it explains it in great detail. The benefits of a seller paid buy down. But let me just give you a glimpse, if that's okay. Real briefly, there are three types of buy downs. There's a 1-1 buy down, there's a 2-1 buy down, and there's a 3-2-1 buy down. For illustration only, let's assume your rate you lock with our no contract lock program is 6%. And let us assume you negotiate a 2-1 seller paid buy down. This would mean in the first year, your rate would be 4%. And in the second year, your rate would be 5%. And then it would go to 6 for year 3 through 30. Seller paid buy downs are a win-win, since this program benefits both the seller and the buyer too. It's not just me, but it is many experts believe that the mortgage rates will significantly improve towards the end of 2023 to the beginning of 2024. The experts that are bullish say that could be as soon as the second quarter of 2023. To be transparent, I think the bulls are being a little bit too aggressive and running too fast. Here is the punchline. The home loan rate you get today is not likely going to be the home loan rate you will have in a couple of years, because when the Fed gets inflation under control, again, when, not if, and while they are staying at the party too long, which they will, there are going to be refinance opportunities. According to Fannie Mae, as I said earlier, they expect rates to start with a 4 sometime in 2023. This is why the phrase marry the house and date the rate is being said so frequently by myself, my fellow mortgage strategist Logan Martini, and others. Let me break it down. It is very probable that mortgage rates will increase over the next 3 to 6 months to levels that millennials have never seen, and even some folks that are Generation Xers. But mortgage rates are not the only thing going up. Rents are going up too. Don't believe me? Well, let me share the facts. In Raleigh, North Carolina, from July 2021 to July 2022, rents for a 1-bedroom apartment went up 42.1%, and a 2-bedroom apartment went up 44.8%. In Durham, the Bull City of North Carolina, for the same period of time, a 2-bedroom apartment went up 54.2%. You know what else is going up? Home values. Did you know that 3.84% is the average annual growth in home prices from 1989 to 2019? Check it out. I took out the 18.5% of annual appreciation per year for the last 2 years of this calculation, because the home price growth during the presence of the evil pandemic was atypical. So 3.84% is the past. What about the future? It is my opinion, what one person says about the future of home values is irrelevant. For me, And for the families the Martini Mortgage Group serves, the gold standard of future home values is the Home Price Expectation Survey done every quarter by Pulsenomics. And that is because it's not one person's opinion. It is the opinion of over 100 experts. Oh, by the way, the Home Price Expectation Survey is expecting a 5-year cumulative appreciation of over 24%, closer to 25 actually. Let me get granular for a hot second. Let me not use the current forecast from the Home Price Expectation Survey data, nor the data from the past 20 years prior to the evil pandemic. Let me be super conservative and let me just say 3% appreciation a year for the next 5 years. What would this mean? Well, simply put, a $15,000 down payment on a $300,000 house could grow to $62,000 over 5 years. A $25,000 down payment on a $500,000 house could grow to $104,000 in over 5 years. A $45,000 down payment on a $900,000 home could grow to $188,000 over 5 years. Not owning a home could not just cost you thousands, but tens of thousands. Listen, we all have to have a roof over our head. Some will rent it, and when you rent, you pay a mortgage. You're not paying your mortgage, you're just paying for your landlord's mortgage for them. Others will own that roof, and Logan Martini and myself help them secure the proper mortgage strategy for that roof. Let me say this another way for the people in the back. The growth in home appreciation has decelerated in 2022, but just because home prices have decelerated, it does not mean homes are going to depreciate. On the aggregate, homes are going to continue to appreciate, and granted, in some markets that were extra frothy, we may see a decline from their peak. Keyword is some markets. Right now, home buyers can still find opportunities. And I believe that today, a home buyer has the proper conditions to secure more buying power. If you're thinking of buying a home for the first time or as a repeat home buyer, simply give a mortgage strategist with the Martini Mortgage Group a jingle by dialing 919-238-4934, because it should always be home loan first and then go find your home. Okay. Let me talk about this elephant that's in the room. Many good people were hurt during the housing crisis in 2008. If you were not directly impacted, it is likely that someone you cared about was negatively impacted. It is sad what happened during the housing crisis, but the events that caused it are not present today. Sure, the housing crisis caused the Great Recession. However, the Great Recession did not cause the housing crisis. Let me be crystal clear. Recession does not mean housing crisis. Today, I am reminded by a quote from Warren Buffett. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. I would like to add, get educated and make an educated decision on what is right for you and your family based on the facts, not based on the headline or what you heard at a backyard barbecue. There is never a substitute for education, and armed with the proper knowledge, you can find right now it is time to be greedy, because I have confirmation more millionaires are made when people are fearful. In closing, homeownership is not right for everyone, and the only way you can truly know if homeownership is right for you and your family is not by searching for homes online or by driving all over town to visit open houses. The first step is always a home loan And then once you have clarity of the cost and the certainty that you can secure the proper financing for yourself and your family, then you can make an educated decision if home ownership is right for you and your family. If not, it's totally fine, but you're making a decision based on education, not gut. But if it's right for you, then you can go find your home, being laser focused and with certainty. My name is Kevin Martini, and my fellow mortgage strategist is Logan Martini, and we are here to help you. If you have questions about what was in this episode 161 of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, know we are here. Our number is 919-238-4934. We both look forward to help. Oh, by the way, our website has fresh and real information about securing the proper mortgage strategy, along with relevant information on what one needs to know if they are thinking of buying or need additional resources. Check it out by going to www.martinimortgagegroup.com. Thank you for tuning in to this new monthly series called What the Heck is Going On in October 2022? And thank you for sharing this episode with someone you care about. Peace and blessings.